Okay, so these images have been on my Google page for almost a fortnight now, so I thought I would get on here and present this before I lose interest in it. Or anyway, so in the last video in fact it was the one before that, where it was something to do with ships, petrified, or the imprints of ships turned to stone, and it was the last video where I showed this, and I had a feeling almost immediately afterwards that this could have been some type of ark ship, also built in the same way that we do today. Yes, this is black and white, it's an old one, but we build them the same way today in this, you know, this framework, like pigeonholes framing, yeah, for strength, durability, which is what this is. And sections of this have just fallen out as this petrified, as this was submerged in the Great Flood, and silt, mud and sand ended up filling all this structure up inside, right, and turned it into Mudrock. But it was these things here that I never pointed out. Now let's just say that this was some type of ship. What a ship this size would probably be used for cargo, yeah, for, you know, for moving stuff around. And these things look like some type of giant, I don't know, vats, bowls, yes. Can you see them? They're even, I mean, they're absolutely shaped like them, but they've since petrified. I think there's two there, and there's two more here on the floor. Go and inspect that carefully. It looks like that this outer shell, because you put an outer skin and an inner skin on this framework, in fact was ripped off. Parts of it was ripped off. That section there, yeah, the outer shell, the outer skin, metal, was ripped off, exposing some of this inner framework, which is built in like a pigeonhole. And that's why it lines up with each other. This is, you know, this is not rock carved, is it? And that's why it looks like it seemed to crumble up, yeah, crumple up on its own weight. Can you see that? This here looks like some of the larger framing work. You see this here? This is in fact the back side of it, and when I saw this, that's the section, you know, we were looking at it from the other side. I mean, are these small, you know, the imprints of smaller bottles, you know, was it moving something around in vats, bottles, and this is just the imprint inside Mudrock, yeah, you know, probably some big wave smashed it into this land, and then all this stuff just got blasted out and got covered over with mud before it rotted away. I don't know, they're just guesses. It's, you know, I mean, I don't really get into too much of what things were. I take a guess now and again. I'm more interested in proving that, you know, that nothing is rock cut, showing you what's petrified technology, that type of thing. But yeah, it looks, because, you know, look, if you were to drop a bottle of well, anything into mud, it forces something, you know, it forces a ridge up around it, and that's what that looks like. Yes, they're shaped like bottles, something like that. This here I showed you in a video, and this indeed could have been some type of window section to a structure that's since fallen down. This will have been built from wood. You can see where it snapped off there, but this part here the glass that was in here, this section probably didn't break. Yes, the glass may have eroded away, may have, and that's why you've got this build up over the top of it, and why it didn't build up on these here. Yeah, so proving that there is nothing rock cut. Even today, there is nothing carved from rock, no structures. There were just one or two artifacts very few, right? But you can see how this thing was built in girders or wooden lats, built like we do today. I mean, can you see how thin that wall is there? I mean, can you imagine trying to carve this out here, out of this big rock, which isn't a rock? You can see how soft it is. The lime has been sucked to the outside, right, like in the ways that I've showed you, and I will show you again during this video. And it turns to sandstone on the inside, which is more like a fine grained sandstone, and this is lime. It turns hard and forms a hard surface on the floor, but you can see how it's built. There's nothing rock carved here. This thing here, it's not Göbekli Tepe, but why is that down there? I mean, if I'm able to zoom in on this one for you. Right, why do you think that? You know, let's just say that this is carved from rock. It looks like Mudrock anyway to me. But you can see that rim around there, but that, it looks like that there was some type of brace, a wooden beam, a brace that went down the back and then was nailed or bolted into position. Anyway, I have told you before that if it wasn't for people like Michael Tillinger, Brian Forrester, right, I would not have been able to get as far as I have in figuring out, you know, what we're really looking at with megalithic sites. What's been labelled as megalithic is just, I mean, they've just thrown a blanket over everything. And I've been friends with some people on Facebook, and even though, look, I'm not on Facebook really, I've got a channel, but it's just to share my videos on, and some images as like a backup site, okay? But I've been friends with this person, Gregory Veracocha, and I know that many of you will have heard of this chap, and yes, I respect him. I have not mentioned his name so far when I've been debunking people and exposing them for lying, right? Not daring to enter outside their box for, you know, the fear of losing subscribers or debunking their own books or whatever, right? But many of the images that I have shown you in the past have actually come from this chap, so I've never, you know, I've got nothing but good words to say about him, right? But he is part of this crowd that say that this is all rock carved, and this site is actually from Tuscany in Italy. I've shown you this artifact before, but not this particular image. It's a beauty. We can zoom right in on this thing, because all these sites in Tuscany have all been hit with superheated ash, right, from a pyroclastic flow, and you can see it. I mean, it is unmistakable, because this artifact will have been made from wood. You can see it there, how it was built. But this ash runs at 600 miles an hour, and you can see it, it's just embedded itself in this. So it's something similar to what happened at Sodom and Gomorrah and Petra and places like that. Because this is another one of those images, sites, that people, like I've just mentioned, show people to try and prove their paradigm, which is either that rock was softer back then, which makes no sense, or that they were able to soften rock, right? Or you can look, so you can either go with that, which either makes no sense or they've got no evidence for, or you can go with me, which is the obvious, that this was soft. You know, this was some type of clay, right? Some type of mud or clay, and that somebody's just shoved his hand in it and then it's hardened since, right? So you can apply that to every single thing that I've been showing on my channel, just about. It's here. This is one of their pictures, and it says less material density on Earth during the pre-Inca Hanan Pacha style period. This stuff is labelled Hanan Pacha. There's actually two different names. I forgot the other one, but this is what they call that. You know, that this has just been made this way for no reason whatsoever, and that they were applying some type of frequency magic to it, but they've got no evidence for it. Or you can go with me that it's an imprint of structures that have fallen down, rotted away, rusted, and all you're looking at is something like I will show you shortly. This will have been some type of like plastic, and it's leached the lime no differently to how things do on the inside of caves, right? It was some type of piping that broke and has since turned into the surrounding rock. It's just an imprint of what this thing was made from, nothing more, nothing less. This one here, again, it's from Gregory Veracocha, and he's got, you know, like this. What do you think that is? Is that an imprint of something that fell in here and rotted away? As all this mud, because that's what it looks like. It looks like mud washed through this site and covered something over, which has since rotted away. It's plain as day.